Here we are, cricketers.
Right now, is it a yellowy colour?
Yeah, it's like baby shit.
Nice. But when you first joined, it looked like a cricket white, like V-neck.
Can you imagine it? Can you imagine me wearing cricket whites?
No. It was honestly, it was a bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah, I can understand why.
Lewis says that he thought you were wearing a stag shirt. It is a bit like that, actually, isn't it?
It's not in any way, shape, or form. It's the better team that play in yellow. It's Radcliffe FC. So Charles immediately come in. Let's address this. What the hell went on in that mental Twitter space? If anyone who doesn't know, there was a random Twitter space being hosted. That was supposed to be about football, and it ended up being about God.
Was it though? Because the subject was just afternoon, and
no, I checked.
My experience of Twitter Spaces is exclusively related to football, so that's always my kind of assumption. It's a Twitter space; it must be about football. But I recognise that there are other hobbies and interests available.
That one was about football. I checked. I asked. I said, "What the hell's going on?" And I got the reply of, it was about football, and it's all of a sudden turned to something else. And I'm like, here we go. I'll join. I'm going to talk about football. So I went in and asked about, I said Bobby Poynton was the second coming of Christ.
I did hear that. Yeah.
And then, like clockwork, and you could have predicted it, Chal joined.
I saw Harry pop up as well. And
Harry popped up.
I assume it was Grimsby Jack.
Yeah, Grimsby Jack. Isaac went in there. We had Hartlepool fans. We had Mansfield fans. Bradford, Doncaster, Grimsby.
Amazing.
And then it got a bit violent. And then I sang the Coronation Street theme tune and got banned.
Well, I mean, I'm happy for you that it passed 20 minutes pre-podcast.
Yeah, it almost. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. We'd have been late to this because I want to come off it.
Well, I was listening to it because I was like pottering around in the house and saying, like, kept checking my watch, and I was thinking, am I going to have to join this space and request to speak just to get you off it? But, no.
Well, instead we're live and we're going to talk about League Two because we haven't done that this week.
No,
we didn't do 2 hours last night on League Two.
There's never enough time to talk about League Two.
League Two and Stockport Towns.
Yeah. Stockport Town.
Stockport Town's championship run.
I don't know where Stockport Town are actually at the moment. I think they went up last season.
They're in Stockport, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how they've done this season.
Harry got kicked out for telling them where Mansfield was.
Yeah.
It's been a fun one. And then the funniest part, and then we'll move on from this space a bit. I don't know if you heard this, so I've got the exact wording here. Was that obviously there were a lot of people who were just like speaking about God and things like that, and then one of them said, "Big up everyone," and it was Chal.
No, I did hear that. I thought I recognised the Donny twang.
Charles said, "Big up everyone," and I immediately went to the group and I was like, "Charles just said, big up everyone. What is going on?"
But I feel like it was a little bit synonymous with just general football-related hysteria at the moment.
I think that for me, that should be what we do for any show, because that's like, yeah, that's just made me feel like really, really good. It's hyped me up. Jack has said, watch, if you want to see the weirdest goal ever, watch Taylor Allen's on Saturday. I'm going to try and share it, Hannah, and see if we can get your... Is it a free kick, Jack? I'm guessing it's from a free kick. And then we can talk League Two.
Is this the Birmingham team?
Yeah. Small team in Birmingham.
Passed on Saturday. Like, it's part of an away day ritual, isn't it? Driving past the Poundland.
Just on M6. Right, this is it, Hannah. This is the goal that we're supposed to be watching.
I must have watched this, but I don't remember it.
Right. That's reminiscent of yesterday's. You see the Papa John's Trophy final?
No. No. I switched on at half time. I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, United Liverpool. I switched on at half time and it was 0-0, and obviously it got better in the last 5 minutes or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
85th minute it started.
Not a massive Peterborough fan, so
no, but the winning goal was a freak goal, similar to that. Like he played the corner and got passed back out, and then he went for this cross, and it was just a looping cross that just looped all the way in. So, but let's talk League Two, Hannah. Where do we start? Do we start with the champions, or do we start?
Well, there are no champions yet, are there, Liam?
Yes,
so we can start by talking about my trip to Sutton.
Talk about your trip to Sutton. What's the champions?
No champions. I was worried about it. I think Sutton had been on a bit of a good run, and although someone said to me, "Oh well, it's because all their games have been, or all their wins have been against teams around them." They are, but they're teams that have held us. So Swindon, Salford, and they're obviously in quite a bad situation. They're above Colchester, but Colchester have got something like 3 games in hand. So we've got Colchester tomorrow. Sutton United, the JobServe Community Stadium, is the home of football. Yeah, which was a bold statement. But one of my favourite things was Tony, who is the commentator, like match day announcer, and he's got this little hut underneath the scoreboard, and he hangs out the window, and you can see him with his microphone, like having a look at the away fans. And my brother had sent, and I think doesn't matter. My brother had sent a.
What the hell was that?
I'll tell you later. My brother had sent a birthday announcement in, and so went back to Tony yesterday and said, "Thank you so much for doing it." And Tony said, "Oh, I get accused of not doing it all the time. Good luck. Like, hope you smash Colchester tomorrow." And it was just a really nice atmosphere. The stewards make such a big difference. And I know lots of people have had issues with stewards at Wimbledon, which is just down the road. They couldn't have been more different. They were kind of glapping along and getting involved, and said afterwards that we were the best fans that they'd had. I bet they said they completely said that week. Yeah.
They started a chant with us. They started a chant.
Yeah. But it was just nice. It was just a nice atmosphere. A very early goal, I think 3 minutes, the first of 3 from Paddy Madden. And it was very windy. The score at half time was the score to the end. Charlie played a back 5, which I think unsettled Sutton. I don't think it was necessarily what they were expecting. Yeah. And yeah, we just won. Everything seemed to click. I was a little bit worried that he'd made too many substitutions. I thought it was a Crawley repeat, but we held on. They were definitely better towards the end of the second half. But Colchester, I am more worried about. Colchester are on like an average of points per game of 1 because they keep shithousing these 1-1 draws. But obviously lost to Wrexham. And Wrexham did what we did against Sutton, flew down the wings and then crossed it in. So, we know what we need to do. I can totally imagine us bottling it. Tomorrow night, if we win, then on a technicality, well, barring a technicality, in the MK Dons would have to undo a 25-goal difference.
Plus whatever you do.
Plus whatever we do tomorrow night.
Plus whatever you do for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah, true. Wrexham have got Crawley tomorrow night. I bet on Crawley against Mansfield. 5-1, the odds I got. And it's similar for tomorrow night. So that's my Hannah's top betting tip, even though I don't agree with betting and we don't have betting adverts on the podcast. That's my top tip for tomorrow, because the odds are really good. And you can actually get worse odds betting on Colchester to beat Stockport. So there you go. But yeah, so Wrexham have got Crawley, Mansfield have got Forest Green tomorrow, which
some big slip-ups potentially tomorrow.
It depends which Forest Green you get. I mean, they were awful against us and then came out and beat, was it MK Dot? No. Who did they beat? Like, was it you on the Monday?
Oh, no, they beat us the week
they beat
before.
you before. Whoever they played on Easter Monday, it wasn't MK Dons, because MK Dons won on the Monday as well. Oh, I quite remember.
It was Crew.
Yeah. So they've got it in them. They drew with Wrexham and very, very nearly beat Wrexham. So yeah, be interesting. An interesting set of events. And then Mansfield play MK Dons next Saturday.
If Mansfield lose tomorrow and you win, you're up.
Yeah. That's the combination of things that needs to happen. Yeah. I really wouldn't be surprised if we draw. Oh, and we talked on the 606 last night about Louis Barry and whether we would have Louis Barry back. And I think I read the comments afterwards saying, oh, we don't risk him. It's a heavy pitch. Let some of the lads, like the lads that have achieved so much over the last few games, play.
Yeah.
But Charlie had said in comment, and I alluded to this last night, it was actually a proper interview that he'd done rather than rumor. And he was saying worst case was Tuesday, as in tomorrow. Best case was Sutton. So presumably he'll be at least on the bench.
On the bench, yeah.
But like I said last night, I'd start him just to...
On the bench, come off the bench to score the goal that secures
the lead. Well, no, I'd start him just to mess with the heads a bit.
It's a big risk, though, starting him.
But Kyle Noyle started against Forest Green and was brilliant and has been brilliant since. 2 assists.
But what was Barry's injury?
Hamstring.
It's a bit different to Kyle Noyle's, isn't it?
I know, but yeah. So that's where I sit with everything. And then we've got Morecambe, we've got Notts County, we've got Accrington, and then we've got Wrexham, last game of the season. I would love for us to not need anything from that Wrexham game. I don't. I'm going out.
If you needed nothing and they needed a win and you went and shithoused it.
Well, it would be really bad because I'm going out in Wrexham with Stace. What could possibly go wrong?
Jesus, that'd be wild. Pete Wild. We've been asked not to talk about Barrow.
Barrow are going to have a renaissance tomorrow night, so you're right, Lewis.
Well, let's not talk about that either. Look, do you know what I do want to talk about? I want to talk about Grimsby.
Yeah.
So Grimsby picked up 3 points at the weekend, beating Newport, which is a phenomenal point for them. Phenomenal 3 points for them.
Did you see that Graham Coughlin, though, has done a Gav Gunning and basically said that
he's on his house?
No, not quite that far, but has said about the players that they some of them have played their last game for the club. They need to think about their careers. And then what's he called? The goalkeeper, New something or other. Townsend. He's not called New anything. Townsend come out today and said, they want to end the season on a high, which is clearly a response to Graham Coughlin. But losing to Grimsby clearly wasn't something that they wanted to happen on Saturday.
No, I don't think so. Hannah, look at that. We never take advantage of the different layouts on here.
Good. The more zoomed out, the better.
No, we don't. What's this one? What's that? Oh, no, don't want that one. On Grimsby, and it's a great 3 points, but just the talking point in the game is it's Dave Artell, and he's obviously his dad passed away.
Yeah.
I believe that either the day before or a couple of days before, and he's gone in and he's managed to keep himself together to get a win, and I think it's there's a lot of respect there on that. I really hope Grimsby do stay up. Just like for Dave Artell, I think it's huge.
Numbers and permutations and stats, they're not in a bad position. They've played 41, so they've got 2 in hand over Salford above them.
Yeah,
4 points behind. So I don't know what their fixtures look like. So they've got Harrogate, Crewe, and Colchester. You'd fancy them for 2 of those. Salford have got a horrible run.
I think Salford are safe, if I'm honest.
Well, we helped on Saturday.
Yeah.
With that, and would help with Colchester as well. So that can be potentially our parting gift to Salford in League Two, that we took 9 points away from Sutton, Colchester, and Forest Green Rovers. Not that I think we're winning tomorrow.
I think if I'm Salford, the annoying thing for me on that is that it's currently out of Salford's hands.
Yeah.
Because if Colchester win all their games, in fact, no, let's have a look at this.
It's not in there. It's not out of their hands, because if they won their 2 remaining games, they'd be fine. But they've got Bradford, they've got Newport, they've got Harrogate.
If Sutton drop 1 more point, they're safe.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It need a 9 goal. It need a 10 goal swing.
Well, tomorrow, Sutton are playing Corinthian Casuals in the Surrey Cup quarter-final, so that's a big game for them. And then they've got Harrogate, they've got Crawley. So Salford are safe, eh?
Yeah, they're not picking.
And Dons as well, last game of the season.
Yeah, there's no way Sutton are picking up all their points there. Sutton can only get to 48 points now. That's which puts Swindon safe. Salford 1 point away from safety. Grimsby, I think 1 more win for Grimsby, they're safe. I still think it's Forest Green and Sutton.
It does look that way. And Sutton, I mean, we talked last night about this whole kind of whether it's confidence or lack of confidence or just not giving a shit. And Harry was talking about Mansfield players. And it has to be that for Sutton, that they're just...
Yeah. Like it must be demoralising.
Well, Arnold, their goalkeeper, I think it was the 3rd goal, and it was like a proper top bin smash. He just lay in the goal, like I genuinely felt for him. And have you been to Sutton? Football? So the away fans are very, very close to that goal, very close. And I did feel for him, because he was getting a lot of abuse. And
the thing is, though, I think you'd thrive on that.
I think,
Don't give that comment that Fife has put there a little cheeky look. I saw you look, right? I saw you look and give a little grin, and then think, "No, I can't do that. So I'm going to talk about." Don't. Right. Fife has said, "What's up, League Two royalty?" And Liam, Fife, acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. Fife is running on an empty. He did both nights of WrestleMania live.
And they've got Falls at 9 as well. If you want to listen to the Swindon celebration of their win over Barrow on Saturday,
which we're not talking about,
9 o'clock on Falls Rushen.
Exactly. If you want to hear, if you want to hear about what happened at Swindon, happened at Barrow with Swindon, tune into them and they'll talk about it. I'm going to talk about Bradford. So
because you've got Barrow tomorrow.
We have got Barrow tomorrow.
away at Barrow. Mind you, Swindon were away there, weren't they?
Fourth time we've come up against Pete Wild's Barrow and we've not beat them yet. That's got to change.
You must be one of the only teams. Oh, that you you haven't beaten them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think it's got to change. Like Pete Wild's got that extra incentive. Like last season, the incentive for him was Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
And he said this, like he's an Oldham fan. It's like for him,
ruined his childhood.
Mark Hughes ruined his childhood, so he had that little incentive on top, as well as the incentive of where it came to him almost getting the Bradford job before Mark Hughes. You know, not only did Mark Hughes ruin his childhood, Mark Hughes took his job. They took his job. Mark Hughes took his job, but Pete is still. He's not bitter, but he's still kind of. It's kind of a.
I think
you bet on the wrong horse there, didn't you, lads? Whenever he puts in a performance against us,
and he is I say this not in a kind of hysterical woman way. He is an emotional character. Like you see that it's passion that kind of like he readily admits that he's got a temper. We see that with the number of red cards that he gets in the season. And I think that it all ties into these. Like, he takes it really personally.
Yeah, he does. I love the guy. I've got so much time for the guy. And, like, even tomorrow, look, I always want my team to win. But Barrow finishing strong.
I'd love to see Barrow in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Crawley.
Well, I was talking to Preston earlier and said to him, I hope you know that when you make the playoff final, I'm coming as a guest. So, yeah, I mean, if either of those two make the final, it's been a ridiculous season for both. Edgeworth says that Wimbledon's making the playoffs over Barrow, but Edgeworth only wants them to make the playoffs so that they fail and the manager gets sacked. And then Jackson.
That was I mean, also Barrow have got 2 games in hand over Wimbledon. That's why Barrow losing on Saturday. That's why I became a pseudo Swindon fan on Saturday, because it was a chain of events. We talked about this last week. We needed Barrow to drop points either tomorrow or on Saturday for us to be able to claim promotion sooner. So so that happened, but no, they're 2 points clear of
5 points clear.
5 points, 2 points clear of Crawley, 5 points clear of Wimbledon with 2 games in hand.
Yeah,
so you'll have to sort your own issues with Jackson out. You can't rely on.
The thing is, Edgeworth saying Barrow's got hard games from his knowledge. They've already got that cushion though. Yeah, they have. They've already got that cushion, though, Edgeworth, at this point. They've got the cushion, and then they've got a further cushion of 2 more games to play.
Well, they have. They've got Bradford, and then 3 at home. No, 3 away, sorry. Gillingham, Crawley, Doncaster, and then Mansfield. But
Barrow only need 4 points.
Takes down Donny.
But Barrow only need 4 points from the remaining 5 games. And then that's it. Wimbledon can't catch them.
Yeah.
I don't see Wimbledon going, and that's if Wimbledon go unbeaten. I don't see it.
No.
Yeah, I can't see it. Bradford then. So we played Gillingham at the weekend, and we ended Gillingham's playoff push. That's what their fans have said. They said it's over. Like, and it is. They can get to 69 points, but it's, like you say, you've got to rely on the 3 teams in the playoffs, 3 of the 4 teams in the playoffs currently to drop massive points. They just weren't very good. They lacked up top.
But that was all from the beginning of the season. We said that they needed a striker, and they
last season as well.
Yeah,
it's
but
always been the same.
Really, Johnny Williams was supposed to be this big marquee signing, and has just kind of faded into obscurity.
Right, so let's talk Johnny Williams, and let's talk Max Clark for a second.
Oh yeah.
So obviously everyone knows what happened
No,
with Johnny
my
Williams
dad
at
won't know, Liam. So you'll have to
Okay. So
explain. to people
what
who are not
happened with Romeo Hutton to Stockport happened with Bradford and Johnny Williams. Johnny Williams was signing for Bradford. It was done. Deal agreed. He was in Bradford. He stayed in a hotel overnight in Leeds. Sorry, he had his medical booked the next morning, and first thing in the morning, Gillingham contacted him, offered him more money, and he just got in his car
slid into his DMs.
Yeah, and straight down, and he signed for Gillingham. So there's obviously been that he got booed at every touch on Saturday. Yeah, but before the game, when the players were warming up, I was stood in front of the away fans, and they all came over, did their players to like do the last bit of warm up, and to get the applause from the fans. So their fans started clapping, so I pretended they were clapping me, and I'm going, oh thanks, and I'm taking a bow, and then Johnny Williams has stood next to me, and I just leant in and I went, not your friend, Johnny. He leant back. He went, I'm home. I said, are you stopping in a hotel in Leeds tonight? He went, no. He said, look, and he said openly, he said, they offered me a better deal.
Yeah, of course.
And I said, I don't begrudge you going. I said, the fact is, it got leaked that he was coming to us. If it hadn't been leaked, we'd been on the wiser.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as me and Johnny Williams are talking, Max Clark leans in and goes, will you fuck off? We're trying to get warmed up. I'm not even on the pitch at this point. He's in my house. And I sort of looked at him and I went to Johnny. I went, he's fucking angry, isn't it? And do you know why he was angry? Because he was sat on bench for 90 minutes. He didn't even imagine bitching and moaning about wanting to get warmed up. And then you sit on the bench for 90 minutes and watch your team lose. Like, he didn't even get off the bench. And I've been looking through tweets from their fans about Max Clark this season. They've said that he's a flop. It hasn't worked. So, Max, maybe focus a little bit less. I tried to find him on Twitter because I wanted to tag him, but he isn't on the
God.
I nearly ended up tagging an NFL player.
I'd have had to switch my notifications off, I think.
So, Max, if you do get this, and I know like Johnny Williams and Romeo Hutton follows us, so Romeo, pass this on to him. Max, rather than focusing on where the mascot stood off the pitch, who's not even talking to you, maybe stop worrying about how your hair looks and start worrying about the fact that you've been dropped to the bench and you're not playing well. That's just a little PSA for you there. I love it.
And
but yeah, get fucked.
Gillingham kind of readily admit that things are not going well. Like Brad Gallinson replied to the
Gills in the
Blood guy and said, things are so much better off the pitch, but on the pitch we are not doing well enough.
No,
which
they were
is
better than they were at last season first part.
It's not saying much though, is
No,
it? They
it's
were just
not.
outside relegation.
Well, they were in it, weren't they? They had 6 points, I think. Was it 8 points come Christmas?
I can't remember.
So it was like
a
that.
magical turnaround.
Or they scored 8 goals in the first half of the season or something. It was something ridiculous. But yeah, Brad Gallinson has essentially said, we know this things have got to change. So it's nice to see an owner kind of acknowledge we've got this wrong.
Yeah.
And we're going to fix it. My worry is that they can't throw more money at it than they have done, because they've thrown a lot at it.
And didn't he say at one point that it was not promotional bust, but it was
he essentially
kind of pressure.
Yeah. Well, I got told from a club in this league, which I'm not going to name because then it obviously throws people on the bus, that Gillingham have a top 3 budget this season.
It doesn't surprise me. But clearly massively underperformed.
Hugely underperformed, and they should have kept. So actually, a Gillingham fan actually did the math on points per game under Neil Harris, then under Clemens, and then under the guy that they had as an interim for 2 games. And it's like Clemens has got, it's like bottom 5 points per game. Neil Harris, if they'd kept him and maintained that average, Gillingham would be sat 4th right now. And that's 4th based on everyone's current points. Obviously, they'd have picked up points against teams elsewhere. They could have been 3rd. They could have been 2nd. Basically 73 points is what they would have been on.
They're currently on 6 games, not 5, bottom of the form table with a 0.83 points per game, which is only the same as Accrington. Everyone else in the league is above 1. 17% clean sheets, 50% failed to score. And their next game is their expected 1.33. But they're safe, but that's about as much as you can say about them at the moment. Do you see that tweet that someone had put about, it was a really nice analogy about Brad Gallinson needs to go to Marks and Spencer's. Oh yeah, because it was you that retweeted it and said about disrespect to Lidl.
Yeah,
their
shit on Lidl like that.
Their recruiters are in the bargain aisles at Lidl trying to get what they can get.
Yeah, don't shit on Lidl. Like, yeah, big up Lidl. On the Spotify version of this, Hannah, we are going to go to an ad break, but obviously we don't do that when it's live. But whilst the ads are playing on Spotify, can I read something to you non-football related that I think is really funny?
What, and then you're going to cut it out of the Spotify version?
I say that, but I probably won't.
You won't, and I won't.
It'll probably end up in Spotify anyway, but it's fine. I think everyone will appreciate it because it's not visual. Right. So, do you know who Count Binface is?
Yeah. Yes.
Running for Mayor of London.
Yeah. I didn't know he was running for Mayor of London. I've seen him in political contests before. Yeah,
no, he's been running for Mayor of London. So he's released his 24-point manifesto.
Amazing.
Are you ready for this?
No, I don't. I mean, that feels like a rhetorical question. So.
Point 1. Thames water bosses to be made to take a dip in the Thames to see how they like it.
Oh.
Number 2. Claudia Winkleman's fringe to be grade 1 listed. Step 3. No shop to be allowed to sell a croissant for more than £1.10.
Fair.
I can get on board with that. London's nights are to be replaced by a new night mayor with headquarters on Elm Street. I don't quite understand that one.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, but nightmare. Fucking Jesus Christ. Because I don't say mayor, we say mayor.
Do you? Nightmare.
Yeah. Nightmare.
Mayor of London. Anyway.
That makes sense. Step 5, I pledge to be able to build at least one affordable house. Step 6, London Bridge to be renamed after Phoebe Waller. Number 7, NHS waiting times to be improved by making GP surgeries hold music less appalling, which is a good point because I hate hold music. You'll like this one, Anna. To solve delays caused by 20-mile-an-hour zones, all meetings will start 10 minutes later. An amnesty on COVID fines imposed on Londoners with all costs to be paid instead by Boris Johnson. Get on board with that. This is brilliant. The Millennium Dome to be demolished and replaced by a nature reserve, giving humans and animals somewhere to enjoy a bit of fresh air. It will be called the O2. Number 11 just says stop the bots. Number 12, speakerphones to be banned on public transport with offenders forced to watch the box set of The One Show. Number 13, I don't understand this, right? Do you know what the Parthenon marbles are?
Yes, Elgin's marbles.
Okay, so he's put number 13, give back the Parthenon marbles, you thieving bastards. That's what he says.
They need to be returned to Greece.
Oh, that's what his point 13 is. 14, all government ministers pay. And this is actually one that I really, really I think he's spot on. All government ministers' pay, including the mayors, to be tied to that of nurses for the next 100 years. Croydon's 5-metre long cycle lane on Selsdon Road to get World Heritage status.
No way.
Free parking between Vine Street and the Strand for electric vehicles except Teslas. Shops that play Christmas music before December to be closed down and turned into public libraries.
100%.
Yeah. All Londoners who cannot afford is it ULEZ compliant?
Yeah. Oh my God! If you're anyone going to Sutton for the next few games, I've got a hack. You park at the Kingsway car park in Cheam, and then you get an Uber, and you don't have to pay the ULEZ. Anyway, go on back to ULEZ.
That's okay. Tips. We're all about tips. All Londoners who cannot afford an ULEZ compliant vehicle to get a new electric car paid for by a windfall tax on oil companies. Again, a very, very good point. He could win this. He's got some stuff to follow through with. This is number 19, but number 20 is without a doubt the best one. Number 19, Royal Palaces, except Buckhouse because I'm nice like that, and all homes of Russian, I can't pronounce it, oligarchs. Yeah, that's a weird word. Why would you say Russian, like rich people, to be gifted to the nation to help eradicate homelessness? Number 20, the hand dryer at the gents' toilets at the Crown and Treaty in Uxbridge to be moved to a more sensible position.
Actually, I don't want to know.
No, loud snacks to be banned from theatres, unnecessary voter ID legislation to be scrapped, and CFAX to be introduced for all homes within the N25.
Oh my God, I missed, we were talking about this in the pub the other day about that kind of getting home from the football and waiting for the right page to go around. And then you couldn't take a photo of it or anything. So then you had to wait for it to go again.
Yeah. And if you saw something right at the end and it went off, you were like, oh, and you're like, no, wait till it comes back.
Yeah.
So that was just something a little bit extra that I thought would be worth. Yeah. Ian's raised a very good point, Hannah. When is the lower league look? Welcome back, Carlisle United.
I don't think there is one, Ian. Liam's a little bit upset about their return to League Two.
I'm not upset. I just, what a waste of a promotion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know, given the business that they did going into this year, you could see that it was possible for them to turn it around, and it absolutely hasn't happened. I kind of feel for Harry Lewis, Luke Armstrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances are they'll probably go straight back up. And yeah, I think honestly, Barrow, Crawley, as much as I think they deserve promotion, I mean, we said about this last night, and you think the owners will step in at Crawley again, but whether that's financially or just opinion based begs to be seen. But Barrow don't have massive budgets.
I think Barrow would do a Stevenage. I think they'd be okay. I think Crawley.
But Stevenage invested massively.
They did, but they've not lost money. They've done it sustainably, haven't they? They haven't invested. They've just raised the funds. So they made, I think, some like £60,000 was the turnover.
Yeah,
like profit. I think if Crawley go up, the owners sell in the summer. Better position than they were.
What was there's something at the end of this season, isn't there, with Crawley? What was didn't they pledge something? What was that?
By it. So yeah, the essentially at the end of this season there is a vote as to whether the owners step down and new owners take over, but it's new owners within the group. So I think Hannah, there's a question that's been repeated here, and I know that you've seen it and you don't want to answer it.
But also, there is a League One Look podcast, and they are very established. Seb is a Burnley.
I don't know who anyone supports.
No, not Burnley.
No.
What's the other one?
Burton.
But no, not Burton. He's not Burton. What's the other one? Like, I get
24 teams, Hannah.
Burnley. What's the other one?
Barnsley.
That's it. Seb's a Barnsley fan. And then Sam is
Jamie Johnson. Yeah, we've got Jamie. We've got 4 people who do it similar to what we do. We've got 2 that do the preview for League 2. We've got a team of 4 that do League 1. So Hannah is going to stay League 2, but she's also going to do some League 1 stuff.
I might, if we get promoted.
When they get promoted.
But no, there will be no stepping on the existing League 1 team's toes.
It works. And do you know what? You'll probably enjoy the League 2 stuff.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy League 2 one more next season because there's no pressure.
I don't know that I'll enjoy the continued Donny fans ups and downs.
When they're sat 17th come Christmas, and they're
Oh!
all chipping in for they're all chipping in for a statue with Grant McCann outside.
Edgeworth's found me a way in. If
Barnsley
Barnsley
could
go up, then we can boot Seb down to League Two because I don't think we're doing Championship.
Yeah, no, I think everyone kind of will just stay as they are. If I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, won't we?
Tomorrow when you're promoted.
No, stop it. It's not.
Charles asked who's coming down to League Two next season with Carlisle. Edgeworth has said Carlisle, Fleetwood, Burton, and Port Vale. I agree on that. I think that's the fall.
Cheltenham is safe then now.
No, they're not. But they've got a game in hand.
Safe.
They've got a game in hand on Port Vale, and they're only 2 points behind them.
Oh, they have. Yeah. I would have liked Port Vale. Because when I used to go when I was really little, Port Vale was like, that was a county fixture that I remember. I've seen County play Port Vale at Wembley, and Wigan Athletic have done all right in the end, haven't they, with their points deduction, and Reading.
Yeah. Carlisle, Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Burton. That's the current bottom four.
Yeah.
And Edgeworth says, can't wait for Gillingham to be our closest game. Crawley would be, wouldn't it?
Well, no, but that's predicting that Crawley go up, presumably that Sutton go down.
Then it would it be Gillingham? Would Gillingham be the closest one for Wimbledon? How far is Milton Keynes?
Where Colchester is, because I'm just gonna I'm not driving, because the other three that I'm going with are teachers, and they don't have to get up on Wednesday morning, so I'm just going to sleep.
Why?
Because it's school holidays.
Oh, it's not here no more.
It's still school holidays. So
which is weird.
Sleep on the way home.
Because you think over here they'd do what you guys have done and have this week off as well, because it's Eid.
Yeah.
But McCann versus Moore next season. I wouldn't in a relegation battle.
10K went up though, and I quite like 10K Dons as an away day, so I'm up for that.
Yeah, I like it.
Easy.
Thoughts on Chesterfield next season? I think Chesterfield will do Notts County.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll have a decent start and then they'll tail off.
Oh, but apparently, according to their fan base, they're going to get Chris. What's he called? Chris. Christ, maybe we shouldn't do it wouldn't be any better if it wasn't Chris from Clark, from Altrincham, obviously.
Yeah. Ian's got a sneak peek. Blackpool away, 31st of August. Apparently.
Yeah, but I told you about my Crofter thing, that I've got to go on the Crofter to the first away game, and it'll bloody be Exeter.
I don't mind Exeter. I like Exeter. I'm away that day. Actually, I go away on August 31st. So I will be watching FC Cologne play. There's
quite a lot of nice little local teams in League One. I've not really looked at it intentionally.
Jan the Man Songgoat is singing to us. And I'm wondering if that's because...
Is it the eclipse?
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
No, it's today. All my team in New Jersey are... Well, it's not. There's not any eclipse here.
I say, well, we can't see it, can we?
5 minutes we were supposed to get if you were kind of on the west side of the country.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jan, are you putting song lyrics in there because you want us to play a clip we've got of you singing?
No. Oh, we could do.
But he said he won't talk to me again if I do it. he says he takes requests. Jan, have you got any songs about Andy Cook?
I was going to say he could sing There's a Starman wearing number 9. His name is Paddy Madden and he's scoring all the time. I bet that would be a favourite for Jan.
Because he scored in one game. He's been shite for you.
He scored and then he scored again and then he scored again. He's not been shite this season. He's good Good on run-ins. His pads.
He has. He's like Paul Mullins' brother.
Oh, fuck off.
So wait, you can play it here if you... So Jan is saying we can play the song. So, guys, this is Jan the Man Songgoat singing Luther Vandross for Andy Cook.
Are you actually going to play it?
Song for Andy Cook. I can't fool myself, I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my one fantasy. There's not a minute, hour or day that I won't love you. You're at the top of my list, 'cause I'm always thinking of you. I still remember in the days when I was scared to touch you. How I dreaming.
No, this is why he has a planning order.
You must have known that I had feelings deep enough to swim in. That's when you opened up your heart and you told me to come in. Andy Cook. 1,000 goals scored by you is never too much.
Is this an actual song that's sung at Valley Parade?
No, this is a song
it's just...
that Jan the Man Songgoat decided to send at 1:30 a.m. one Saturday evening. And I screen recorded it and sent it straight to Andy Cook.
Oh.
And Andy Cook replied saying it's the greatest thing he's ever heard. But here's the thing, I had to put it on a private YouTube link to send to Andy Cook. It's got about 40 odd plays. So either Andy really likes it or Andy has sent that on to people to watch, which I think is just incredible. But yeah, Jan's asking how we have it to hand. It's from when I recorded the preview with him and I had it there. It's in the branding tab, just to click whenever we need it.
Just ready. Yeah, because I think you played it to me as well.
Yeah.
Not like on the podcast, but yeah.
Charles asking a question repeated. We don't know, Charles, because
we don't know. You can't transfer this current run of form into next season's potential because your Adelakins, your whoever else are going to go back to their home clubs, and the momentum that you've built, which is very admirable. Most form teams, 6 wins from 6, second only. No, hang on. Only beating one team, the Stockport County. Pardon?
It's 2 teams that they lost to.
No. I mean they're top in the form table and County are second.
Oh, right. Okay.
So they have done brilliantly and they've knocked off some really impressive teams, but it's not sustainable given the players that have driven that success.
Mm-hmm. Will the summer determine our season? Yeah, absolutely. Of course, yeah, the summer will determine everything. And it will be like, this is what I think you've kind of got to get into it. And like to what Hannah's saying there, the second that final whistle goes on the last game of the season, you guys are back where you were in December in terms of team, because those players that you've kind of got that have dragged you on and
although
more
in
confident.
Their defense, the difference is now they know, and Grant McCann knows what they need to do to win and what those players look like in terms of stats, playing style. So the recruiters will be at the moment looking for players that kind of match those capabilities of the ones that are presumably leaving. I mean, they may well sign for Donny. They might, get brought into what they're trying to achieve next season, and all credit to them. But I guess that's the only difference, that they know now how to succeed in League Two.
I suppose question back for you then, Chow. What's the minimum as a fan for you next season? What is the absolute minimum that you need to see? because you can't hang around for too long in League Two because you stagnate. Look at us; we have stagnated in League Two. The longer you stay here, the harder it is to get out. So yeah, what's for a Donny fan? What's the minimum? Edgeworth says, anyone want to buy Josh Davison? He's got 1 year left on his contract.
The legend that is Josh Davison.
Right, there you go. Top 7 is minimum. So if you are come Christmas time, Charles, nowhere near it, what happens? Do you allow him to continue like you have done this season, kind of uncontested and not one really picking up on it? Or is it a case of if it's top 7 as minimum, do you have to change come, let's say, Christmas time if you're nowhere near and hope someone else can do it? Top 7 with a team that was nowhere near it till January is crazy.
It's optimistic.
It is. But it's similar to this season. There's probably 15 to 20 of the teams that are going to be in League Two next season that are fan bases are thinking top 7 is minimum.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing about that we said going into this season, even the end of last season, I said I'd rather go up last season than be in the fray this season. We didn't know what MK Dons, Morecambe, Accrington, Forest Green were going to do.
Yeah.
And it is a very tough league.
Yeah.
But next year, arguably, it's going to be lighter, not lighter, but I think a bit less intense. Although saying that, did you see that statement from Notts County's owners on Friday?
Oh, yes. Yes, you sent it me.
I mean, I can't work out whether it was entirely delusional or whether they're just so entrenched in stats that they can't see the bigger picture. But they are not making massive changes. They are going into next season. I mean, it was seen as we're not getting rid of Stuart Maynard. That was what most people took away from it. But that they weren't planning to make wholesale changes because there were lots of games that they lost that they nearly won or that they should have won.
But they're counting them as wins.
It's absolutely bizarre. And that they've not played since January. They've not played any what they considered to be, massive sides. So there's I don't know whether it's delusional or whether it's I don't know.
I think it's naive.
I've not seen anything to suggest that it would be any different.
Yeah, I think it's naive. I think that they've never done this before. They've never had a season where they've kind of languished mid-table, these owners, where they failed essentially. So it's new for them. Ian's flipped the question about what we said to Donny. What's the minimum for Bradford next season? There's 2 answers. There's my answer, and then there's the Bradford fans' answer. So I want to see improvement, and what I'm like. This is where we've got a new director of football. I want him to come out in the summer and outlay towards a 12-month, a 3-year, and a 5-year plan. That's what we need. We've never had that. In fact, we have had that. The last time we had that was our owners that came in that are there now who said championship in 5 years. That's the only time they've ever said anything. Then they've never really redone it. We need to know where we're going to be in a year, where we're going to be in 3 years, where we're going to be in 5. I think for the majority of the fan base, given the tensions between the fans and the board, it's promotion or bust. It has to be. And then to answer Charlie's question, which is off the back of that, he's asked 2 questions actually. So Jan, what do Bradford City need to do in the summer to fix things on the pitch? It feels like small tweaks to me. They need to fix the pitch. dig the pitch up.
For that? I mean, no. Realistically,
no, it's from what I can tell, it's from what I have been told. Sorry, what we need to do is dig the pitch up, and then we need to get the concrete out that's underneath.
Okay.
Because it was the ground was built on a quarry.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You're looking $1.5 million and that's got to be invested. That Stefan Rupp needs to invest and to do that.
Yeah.
If he does that, we can get that fixed. Then we can sort the pitch. That's fine. We can put in a hybrid pitch. You know, which I don't know why we can't put in a hybrid pitch on top of the concrete. Surely we can.
Well, you're just covering the drainage issues, though, aren't you?
But the drainage issues. Oh, I suppose it depends how deep we have to go for drainage. We only got it done at the beginning of last season.
Maybe. I was going to say maybe they can save some of the pitch, but because turf is expensive as well. If
the whole thing needs,
unless they're doing it from seed, which
we do it from seed.
Okay,
we've done it from seed every time. We don't turf. So yeah, like if we're going to do hybrid, dig it up, get rid of that concrete, and do it.
Can you explain to Jan what a hybrid pitch is?
So you plug it in, and it charges like an electric car, and then when it snows, it's warm, so it melts the snow. So we don't ever have to deal with like a frozen pitch because it's a hybrid. We plug it in. Like Bobbin Carrier pub down the road from me, they've got chargers. So you just take your pitch there, you plug it in, and it thaws it out. No, a hybrid pitch, Charlie, is where it's grass as well as synthetic. It's a mixture, so you're not as worried. Like, so if we were in the position, if we had that now, and where like all the grass had died and we've got those patches, we wouldn't have those patches because there's a synthetic which doesn't die and that's still there. So you've always got a surface. Forest Green is a hybrid, isn't it? Or is it a? It's not 4G, is it? Because you can't have 4G.
Ours is hybrid, and it's the synthetic bits are stitched at different levels. So when we first got ours, had it installed the beginning of last season, it was stitched at the wrong height, or it was a choice. We'd chosen to have it stitched at that height, and then you can go back in and have it restitched. So
it's it's permittable. It's the future,
only
really.
The full artificial ones that aren't at this level, isn't it?
Yeah, Andrew was saying yours was stitched last year. Yeah. So and that's what we need. We need investments. When we say it on the pitch, it's not necessarily the players. I think we've got players that are coming out of contract that we really need to sort of look at. Brad Halliday is a must for me. He needs to be tied down to a contract. He's desperate to sign for this football club again. Jamie Walker needs to be. Do you know what? It's not even that we need to be signing them up now. We need to be talking to them because we're not even having conversations. And that's a decision that's been made at an executive level where we decided a few years ago that as a club, we don't believe we should be speaking to players about contract extensions until the season's over. But I feel like we're
fine, but with the greatest of respect, where you're finishing in terms of a league.
But when you come down from League One, you can do that, I think, because you're a club that's been at a bigger level than where you're currently at. When you've been stagnating in this league for a few years, you've kind of got to accept, you know what, we are a League Two football club and there are 23 other League Two football clubs. Why would a player, especially given the atmosphere that's at Bradford at the minute between the fans and stuff, it's not going to be as attractive as it has been. Yeah. Jamie Walker will have absolutely no shortage of offers. Why risk it? Why risk him going? I believe Bobby Poynton will go.
Jake Young won't stay, surely.
He's always contracted.
I know, but I mean, from an outsider, my opinion would be that if he hadn't have been expecting to have surgery when he came back from Swindon, he'd have gone in January.
Jake Young will stay.
Okay.
Out of all of them that are out of contract, and Jake Young, I would say Jake Young will be here next season.
Interesting.
I'm guaranteeing it. He's staying on it.
Okay.
I think we've got players that are out of contract that do need to move on as well. So like Richie Smallwood, I think he'll move on. Well, I think he'll move on. I think he needs to move on, but I know Graham Alexander likes him. So we've got a lot of work to do this summer. We've got a huge job to do.
It's 8:00, so we can't go on that much longer. Shall we quickly talk about Mansfield and Wrexham? No. Just for balance.
No. Yeah, go on.
Have I know Harry was here. I don't know if he is still, but so I'm playing devil's advocate. If I was a Mansfield fan, what advice would you be giving me other than don't panic?
I don't think you can give anyone, a Mansfield fan, that advice, because it's happening again. It's genuinely happening again. I thought it would happen, but I thought it would happen earlier.
Yeah.
So like they'd be off it, miles off it. This is going to hurt so much more if it doesn't go right, because they were so close this time. This is the closest they've ever been to not just getting out of the league, but winning the thing.
Yeah. And they, Mansfield last season were blighted by injuries. This season they had it at the beginning, and they kind of fought through it. Now when it matters, they're starting to come through again. So Lewis Brunt, who was the other one? Bailey Cargill, are both out now. So that the defence that played against Crawley on Saturday is the defence that they've got for the rest of the season. That said,
have you got a budget?
I'm in the garden, aren't I? It's the birds outside. I'm scared of birds. There's nowhere that's the one
you
pet
shouldn't have told me that.
I hate them. I hate them. It's the pecking. They'd peck my eyes out.
I'm gonna get you a bird.
Yeah, so Mansfield are struggling. Not that Crawley, if I was Wrexham, I'd be really concerned about Crawley tomorrow night. They are, and they're very good away from home as well. So I don't even think the racecourse home advantage is much of an advantage tomorrow.
On that, Hannah, Crawley have picked up the most points in the 92 away from home this year.
Yeah, I can completely imagine that.
Top of it. It's insane.
Yeah.
Question for you, Hannah.
So I assume this is alluding to, I don't know, is it? It's not. What's it called?
I'll read it out. So it says, can we talk
is it
about
WWE or is it the Twitter space that I joined? I joined a Twitter space.
Yeah, Michael wants to know what Hannah thought about the WrestleMania 40 main event last night.
I don't know. I slept very soundly, giving no shits about wrestling. I am very scared of the Bradford chicken. Very scared.
Because she knows what's under it. Yeah. No, do you know what? Wrexham, I don't think really have much to be concerned about. It's Mansfield that you've got to think how much of a knock-on confidence this last couple of games has been for Mansfield, because not only have they kind of known that they could have won the entire thing, they're now looking up at 3 teams above them, and they're now having to fight. It's no longer a case of, if you win a couple of points, win a couple of games, you've got the league wrapped up. It's now a case of you've got to win games if you want to get promoted.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be a huge, huge knock to confidence. And, like Harry was saying, that there's been arguments between players and management on the pitch. Clough telling players to fuck off and stuff. And it's it just seems to be that Clough's very, very arrogant, but he isn't willing to accept that he's making mistakes. I said it last night on the 606. I've said it so many times. Twice his dad's arrogance, half his talent. And I think that really eats him up inside, that he's not that level and he'll never be that level.
Yeah.
And that's so much at
problem. And Wrexham are used to pressure. They, have had it from Notts County. They had it from us the season before. They also know, they came out of 21-22 with, losing in the playoff semi. They lost in the FA Trophy final. They were second in the league. I think they've mitigated against that with the seniority of the players that they brought in, but the experience as well. And yes, okay, I saw something the other day that was bandied at a Wrexham fan about buying players in their 30s, which you know, whether that, I don't know how many of their players are over 30, but they come with experience. And, you know, like say about Paddy Madden is not crumbling under the pressure of a potential promotion. I'm sure Stephen Fletcher isn't either. And so, yeah, I'm less concerned about Wrexham's ability over the next couple of weeks and fully expect them to go up automatically. Mansfield are a little bit of a different set of circumstances.
Yeah. A question for you, Hannah, because I've just seen another comment here, but this is from the same person, Jan the Man, and then we will start to wrap up. He put the question to me, but I feel like it's one that you can answer better. If Andy Cook was bald, does he get as much respect?
And you know what? Andy Cook, with his kind of elite rugby player physique, I'd imagine bald, he'd look quite
fucking terrifying.
And like, yeah, whereas Pads is a bit less so. So yeah, I think
Pads is like the little brother of the Mitchells.
Oh,
he's like Billy Mitchell if he was bald.
No, he's not.
But
yeah, I think it's decent. Oh, so you sent that to me earlier. It's League Two.
It's not League Two related, but it is funny. So yeah, anyone who doesn't know, Gab Sutton and Joey Barton are currently going at it on Twitter. In
Gab's defense, he isn't giving it back. So like, but he did.
Joey Barton's going in on him.
But he did say something about, he did reference what had happened. And Joey Barton is very fairly being called out by all sorts of people for bullying, for taking it too far. Apparently it's fine to criticize women for, you know, their opinions, but not Gab Sutton.
Here's the thing. Joey was replying to Gab, who was criticizing. Gab criticized him first and called Joey Barton a fantasist. I
couldn't work out the origin story. You'll have to timeline it for me.
Gab called Joey Barton a fantasist, and that's where it started. I mean, it's in terms of like seeing the argument, and usually when you see an argument, you pick a side of who you want to win. But I feel like this is, for me, it's like picking between two blokes as to who I want to watch pump my missus. Like, I don't want either to do it. I would be happy if neither won. Yeah, just like fade away into mediocrity. Joey Barton, you're done. Gab, just guys, just go. Moving on.
Yes, I have seen that. It
Wrexham
made me laugh.
Calling up Stockport for buying the league. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Let's be brutally honest.
With and the reference that was cited for this was buying Nick Powell at 250 grand a year, presumably.
Like Billy Waters on the same.
And a love-in, I quote, a love-in with Aston Villa.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing from an outsider's perspective.
Arsenal, it's no different.
Here's the thing from an outsider's perspective. You've both bought the league. Like, you've both tried to buy the league. It's just you've managed your money a little bit better than they have.
But it's a means to an end, isn't it? Like, if you and we've talked in the past about having, you know, at the moment, as it stands, Stockport are outperforming their budget. They don't have the biggest budget in the league, but are top of the league. So in that circumstance, yes, we've bought the league, but we are delivering over where we would expect our budget to be. Wrexham,
is it that you're delivering over, or are they delivering under?
Yeah, that was going to
weird, isn't it?
We're under delivering.
Yeah,
and there was this whole conversation, and we haven't talked about it. Hi, Liv.
Liv's coming at the right point here.
I did wonder whether you'd be in trouble because it was a very
Liv, when did you join, Liv? Just to let us know. And does this comment from Jan the Man Song Goat make any sense to you at all?
Are they under delivering? Oh God, I had a really good point then as well.
Yeah, so no, Wrexham. Is it that Wrexham are under delivering? Because for me, I don't think it's that you're over delivering. I think it's that because look, 41 games played for the budget that you've got. I would have expected both you and Wrexham to already be up. So you're overperforming in terms of comparisons to Wrexham, but I feel like you should be there already.
Yeah.
Liv joined at this second. Liv,
Excellent.
don't rewind.
Hi, Liv. But the other side of it, we talked about who we thought was going to be manager of the season. And we both said that Scott Lindsay would be in the shout. The EFL have published their shortlist. He's not nominated. I can't actually even remember who has been nominated.
They put Lee Bell in there after he got spanked 3-0 by Forest Green. Mike Williamson.
Yeah.
And who was the third? Wasn't Clough, was it?
It wasn't Clough, it wasn't Parky, wasn't Chally. Because and the point was that those three managers at the top of the league are doing what is expected of them. Whereas Lee Bell, arguably, let's use him as an example, is doing better, much, much better than was expected. But
he's 2 points ahead of Scott Lindsay, and Scott Lindsay's played a game less.
But this, I'd love to know the timeline for it, because I always find it weird that they bring these out, and a Crawley fan, Stephen, alluded to this, that no one knows what's going to happen over the next 4 games or whatever's left. Stop stroking Paddy. And it's too soon to make an assessment of a manager. It is Clough, apparently.
Is it Clough?
Well,
Paddy.
Stop it. It's so weird.
Yeah, also it's Clough. Paddy. Yeah, look, it's disrespectful to Scott Lindsay. Is that Scott Lindsay is without a shadow of a doubt manager of the thing. I don't know what that is, Liv. It's a square. Scott Lindsay is manager of the season, like without a shadow of a doubt. It's fucking ridiculous what he's done.
Yeah.
So
yeah, agree.
Yeah, Ian's saying the same. It's Scott Lindsay. Anything else is wrong. Everyone can look. We can all be as biased as we want towards our own teams. I don't believe that there's a single person who's I think there's probably 3 people who believed that Crawley would do okay this season. That's the 2 Crawley owners and Scott Lindsay.
Yeah.
I believe that the squad will have seen what people were saying and will have thought it was going to be a really shit, tough season and a battle.
Yeah.
What I will say is, when I spoke to one of the Crawley owners before the first game of the season, because we played them on the opening game, and I was having conversations with them about some work stuff. They believed that they had a 15th placed squad. That was their belief. They believed that they were good enough to get 15th at that stage. Obviously, the window was still open. No one believed that they were going to get into the top 7.
No.
And I'm delighted for them. I'm delighted for Scott Lindsay, because this has just kind of shown Swindon up for what they have been as well. Because I maintain it should have never left Swindon. So fair play to him. And I hope he gets, look, we're doing our own player of the season or team of the season, where it'll be people that vote for it. We'll do it. I'll do that tomorrow. Actually, I'm off tomorrow, so I'll do.
No, what I've just said we can't, because it's too soon.
No, it's not. No, it's nominations now. It's nominations at this point. And it takes a few weeks, Hannah. But we all know full well Scott Lindsay's winning our manager of the season.
Yeah,
there's just no way, because anyone with any common sense as to what's gone on this season cannot give it to anybody else.
No.
So we'll get on that. Anything else you want to bring up, Hannah?
No, I don't think so. I'll see tomorrow.
Why the fuck did Liv say hi, Hannah, and not hi, Liam?
Because she saw my face when you were talking. Doesn't matter.
She didn't see the conversation about getting pumped by Gab Sutton. I'm gonna have to go tell her who Gab Sutton is now.
Yeah. Yeah. Gab or Joey. Anyway.
There's a choice here, Hannah. End it. That's where we end it. It's your choice, Gab or Joey.
Well, no. No, nothing else to add. Good luck to everyone with games tomorrow night, apart from Colchester. And I know, no.
Are you going to wish us luck then?
No, I was going to say even Mansfield, and then I remembered that the like chain of events, and as much as Harry and I have got a mutually dependent relationship at the moment, it's
we'll take Barrow out of it tomorrow for you. We'll take Barrow out of the equation.
Oh, I'll take Stockport for
champions.
Yeah, I mean
champions elect Stockport Rovers.
Stockport Rovers. Yeah, let's go. But safe travels to everyone, and I'll either be really, really quiet about 10 o'clock tomorrow night, or I will be very vocal on Twitter on the way home.
I'm gonna be so. Why don't we? You know what, Anna? If you promote it tomorrow night, we'll go live.
Okay.
I'll be on my way back from Barrow. You'll be on your way back from Colchester. We'll go live and let people talk about it. And when we have to hear about Forest Green putting 4 past Mansfield.
Oh, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, unfortunately, putting 4 past them. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
Which I don't know where that is, but we'll see you there.
Sunday.